Keith spoke about a topic that is educational and relatable to every generation. The world needs to hear it.
Can I talk about how the power of positive media, what we consume, shapes who we become? Because what you feed your mind determines the life that you lead. Just like the food we eat fuels our body, the media we consume dictates so much in our life, more than we realize. First, I want you to think long, long ago, when there's a thing called boredom. No, I'm not talking about when it takes like 5 extra seconds to download your Instagram feed. I'm talking about, let's say, like pre-2000, when you were at a stoplight and you just sit for like 30 seconds with your own thoughts. Nowadays, our thoughts and our mindset and our attention is dictated so much by what we consume. Because at any free moment we have at a stoplight, in line at a coffee shop, at the grocery store, we are reaching for our phone and consuming something. We're always consuming. Now, I'm not saying it was better back then. I'm just saying back then, our thoughts and our attention, we controlled more of. But I want to tell you today that you have more control than you realize. And it has to do with 2 major things. It has to do with our mindset and algorithms. We'll talk about those in a little bit. But you might ask yourself, how can I control my mindset? Well, first, a mindset is the way people think. And the way you do anything can be taught or learned. So yeah, we can all change our mindset and learn a new mindset on a daily basis. But so much of our mindset and attention is dictated by the media and things that we're consuming. And it's all coming from an algorithm on social media and an algorithm in our brain. Yes, our brain is the original algorithm. But the if you're asking yourself, wait, what is an algorithm? An algorithm is like this. Have you ever watched like a funny video on cute cats? And then you watch another video on cute cats and you're like, wow, there's a lot of funny cute cats out there. Oh my gosh. And then you turn to Ron, you're like, Ron, you see all those funny cute cats? He's like, no, what are you talking about? Well, his algorithm is different than my algorithm. It's all about what you're focusing on. And social media companies have realized that the more you pay attention to, the more it's going to feed you. Because just as in life, what you focus on longest becomes strongest. And we determine that. But it's all based on an algorithm on our social media that we're consuming and in our brain. But the beauty of that is that you can control that algorithm, both in your brain and on the social media that you're watching. And this isn't just some motivational talk. This is actually science. There's a thing in our brain called the reticular activation system, RAS. And what that is a filter in your brain that filters out what you don't pay attention to and filters in more of what you do pay attention to. It's like this. Many years ago, when my family was growing, my wife said to me, Keith, we got to get a minivan. I was like, no, nobody drives a minivan. I don't want to be a minivan dad. I'm not driving a minivan. She put her foot down. Next thing you know, I'm test driving a minivan. As I'm feeling sorry for myself, the next day, something happened. I started to notice minivans everywhere. They're at the gym. They're at the coffee shop. They're on the freeway. Minivans are all over the place. I thought, wow, minivans are actually kind of cool. Well, it turns out minivans aren't cool, but now my brain had been triggered to notice minivans all around, where before I didn't notice them, but now I notice them everywhere. And that's what happens in our life. When we start to pay attention to things, we notice them more often. So now that you know that you can do that, you can control what you're consuming, because that dictates so much about you. And what you got to realize is that our brains are thousands of years old. They're meant to protect us. Their primary function of your brain is to protect you. So it's going to notice fear and danger and negativity first and foremost, because think about it, our ancestors walking the savannah had to notice the rustling of the leaves in case a tiger jumped out and ate them. So they had to notice that, as opposed to the beautiful sunset, perfect for a selfie, but maybe they didn't have a selfie. But you're not going to notice positive things as much as you do the negative things. So now that you recognize that, you can control it. And what you got to do is realize that positive media isn't fluff. It's fuel. It's an opportunity for you to rewire your brain, retrain your brain, and retrain your thinking. Because all those things that you consume are affecting your mindset on any given day. And you know you can change your mindset from day to day, all determined on what you're feeding it. So remember that. You can control that by listening to great podcasts to teach you things. Maybe watching videos of people that fuel you, not drain you. And reading a good book that stretches your thinking instead of watching a toxic news cycle or watching people argue on Facebook or Twitter X. You can use that media to change your algorithm both in life and on what you're consuming to change your life. Because you gotta realize that we don't become what we wish for, we become what we consume. So now that you know you have that power, use that to rewire your brain in a positive way to win the day.
Keith's presentation really made me think about the fact that our brains have algorithms just like social media. Why do we think that they do that in social media? Because they know they can affect our brain. And if we allow them to affect our brains without us controlling what we consume, we will never be able to get out of the things that we're not supposed to be focusing on. So I love the focus Keith brought to helping me think about what do I focus on and how do I make sure it's the right thing.